everyone. This is a very requested video. This is not really gonna be an edited video. I might do some like jump cuts. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for editing it, but this is not gonna be a very edited video, so please keep it in mind. I just know that a lot of you guys were asking for a hair tutorial, for tips for styling, tips for taking care of your hair. And I kind of treat my hair like a big deal, so I wanted to share some of my favorite tips and ways to style it. I have a couple different ways of styling, but I'm going to be showing my main style today, which includes some other stuff some other little side styles that I like to do. I don't know how to describe it. You guys will see along the way. But yeah, so first we're gonna go over our tools. For this main style is what you're gonna need is a straightener of any kind, but I would recommend one of the smaller ones just so that you can get these pieces better. It depends on what you can afford, what you can like. The smaller ones are cheaper. They're cheaper, they're easier to use, and they're just a lot more convenient, I think. You're gonna need one that goes up to at least 450 degrees. Make sure it goes up to there at least 450, or at least I would say maybe about 430, just because these curls are going to be very, very blunt and obvious. So please make sure you do that. Another thing you can use instead of a straightener if you don't have that is a curling iron. I don't use it personally a whole lot anymore, but I have it in here. It doesn't work as well. It's a lot more difficult to do, but if you find that it's easier for you, then go for it. I definitely would recommend using a curling iron if you have longer hair, but if you have just short hair like me, I would recommend using a straight iron. So the first thing you have to do before you do your hair in this style is you have to brush your hair, okay? Because you can end up curling, like if you have a knot in your hair, you could end up curling that knot and it could look really, really bad. So you're always gonna need to brush through all the way. All the way. I actually have a ponytail on right now, so I need to take that out. And keep in mind, this style is more suitable for people who have shorter hair like me. A lot of stuff I'm going to say is going to make a lot more sense if you just have short hair like me. So I would mostly just recommend this style for people with shorter hair. It could be done with longer hair, but longer hair is kind of a little bit more complicated. But yeah. This also does depend on what kind of haircut you have. I have a sort of mullety type wolf cut, maybe short, I don't know what it's called. Sort of like a flow, so it doesn't usually look like this when I style it, but a flow sort of cut. If you want to get your haircut like this once it's styled, I would recommend asking for like a flow / wolf cut, many layers, like long layers. You can't really do this kind of same thing if you have like shaved sides, you know. I feel like that's also kind of obvious, but I like to do a lot of styling in the sides of my hair, so please just keep that in mind when watching this video, is that your haircut, this styling is not for everyone. It's a very specific hairstyle, so please keep that in mind. I'm really sorry if I disappoint you, and I can do more hair tutorials in the future. So the first thing you're going to want to do, the last material you need actually, is probably going to be some heat resistant spray. It can be heat resistant spray of any kind, but I personally use Color Wow. I feel like I'm gonna get ready with me right now. I personally use Color Wow. It works really well, and the amount you're going to want to spray is pretty much the amount of like thick hair you have. So I have really thick hair, so I'm gonna spray a lot, make sure I get every area, because we're gonna be curling pretty much not every area, sorry, we're gonna pretty much be doing a lot of different straightening and curling. And always make sure to flatten out your hair like this, just because it can make it so it's more volumized in the end. I would also always recommend washing your hair before doing this, because I wash my hair pretty much every day. I more recommend if you have thick hair, but I style my hair every day. I use a straightener every day at 450 degrees, so you can imagine what that does to my hair. It can really, really, really damage your hair. So please, my friends, please use heat resistant spray and wash your hair every single night after doing this. It does also depend how thick your hair is and how easily greasy or dirty it gets, but please, I would just recommend starting off washing it every night and using heat resistant spray every single time, and then just use it as needed. But please start off by washing your hair every night and using heat resistant spray, because the only reason my hair isn't damaged is because I do those two things. Okay, so now that you brushed out your hair and you've got your heat resistant spray on, the next thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna take your straightener. My hair already has been previously styled today, But so I'm kind of just trying to not have it styled just so I can show you guys truly what the process looks like, but it's not really gonna be super accurate, just keep that in mind. My cat's laying behind me, so hi. She likes to lay in my dirty clothes. Okay, I also do want to apologize if I'm kind of far right now, or if like I'm far from the camera, or if you guys can't see my hair that well. This is literally the only option I have to set up my phone right now, because I only ever do my hair in front of my mirror, and doing it anywhere else just feels wrong, so that's kind of on me, but please forgive me. I'm trying. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you're going to decide if you want to curl your bangs or not. I don't usually do that anymore. The most recently I've done it was in my Shein video where I curled my bangs upwards, so that's going to be an example of what that's going to look like, but that's going to drastically change the appearance of your style. The only way that I really curl my bangs now is I do this, is I go from the end, and I'm going to curl down if you want that sort of. And make sure that if you want the kind of bangs that I have right now, make sure to curl down and try not to flatten it. So when you're curling down to kind of get this sort of, it's messed up right now because I haven't styled it yet, but sort of bang, you're gonna make sure you want to go in a sort of C shape to kind of curl. You're moving your straightener or iron in the same way that you want it to curl. So if you want, let's say for this piece right here, like this piece, if I wanted to curl it up, I would do this, and then I just, at the end, I would hold it for a little bit, not too long, and then you'd have, this isn't really the best one, but you'd have a piece curling up. That's usually what I'll do. There's other ways to do it, of course, but that's what I like to do because it just makes it look so much better, and it's the easier way, and it does probably the least damage to your hair of all things. What I like to start with, aside from the bangs, is start with the back corners right here. Ow. So you're gonna go ahead, and if you want it to curl up, you're gonna move it depending on how much you want it to curl up. It depends on what your preferred style is. So this time I'm gonna do a medium curl. So I'm gonna go down slowly, and then right here I'm just gonna kind of hold it for a little bit. So it's a kind of a small curl. It messed up a little bit because I'm doing it in the camera, but you get what I mean. So we've already got quite a bit of stuff down here. You can kind of just curl it anywhere you want. It depends on how many layers you have. I have 2 individual layers right here. I don't have a whole lot of layers, but I have very, very long layers. So I would recommend just kind of, 3. I would recommend curling those layers up, curling your layers up, essentially. Especially if your hair naturally grows flat like mine, make sure to curl it up at the ends, depending on what style you want. And then the most important part is to grab the middle right here. This, if you curl this piece up, it's going to drastically affect how you look. So, same thing with your bangs. So, I'm going to do a medium curl here. You always want to do something with that middle piece, okay? Because you can leave it, but it's gonna make it look drastically different. So you can always like curl it other way, make it more like my bangs, or do what I just did, but it depends on just which way you want to curl it. It's all up to you. Now at this point, I would recommend doing another brush through of your hair, especially since using a straightener does a lot of using high heat like that brings out a lot of your hair's natural oils. So I would definitely recommend brushing through your hair once more. Even if you haven't styled this side, brushing your hair can get rid of more oils, I found, at least for my hair. So then once you've done that, you're gonna want to kind of fluff it up a little bit. You notice it looks already a lot better. And obviously your hair isn't gonna look like this after those couple pieces I curled, okay? But you're gonna always want to make sure, since my hair's already previously styled, you can just curl up any pieces that are laying flat, or curl in like this piece right here. You can curl any of those up, depending on the kind of hair you have. But for me, I can curl any piece I want up, and it's gonna do that. Another way that I really like to do it is the back of your hair is probably flat right now, but I've already styled mine today. So you're gonna take any piece you want in the back, and you're gonna curl it up. Especially this piece right here isn't very curled up. You're gonna curl that up. You don't have to hold down it very long. And when you're curling your hair, I like to say curling because it's technically curling. You're gonna find a lot of pieces that are like stray, like that. Especially if you have naturally wavy hair like mine, your hair is gonna kind of want to go and do its own thing. What I recommend, if you can't get rid of that little curl by curling it different ways. It's to just tuck it in the back if it's too close to the back, or using a hairpin to hold it back. One thing I like to do is I like to do ponytails. I was wearing one today, and it was really, really cool. So yeah, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the other side. It's pretty much the same exact thing on both sides, but I have kind of an uneven haircut. The lady that did my hair did something uneven along the way, so I don't really know. But since you sprayed on your hair resistant spray a while ago, I would recommend spraying just a little bit more on, just so that you don't cause any damage to your hair. Because doing this can lead to really, really bad damage if you're not doing some sort of hair care. Okay, so now that we've got brushed through heat resistant spray, whatever, we're gonna do the same thing on the back, and we're gonna go down, medium curl. See, sometimes it'll end up like that if you haven't gone far down enough. It'll kind of fray at the ends. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take the end and you're just gonna curl it back up. It should be fine. And then if they stick out too much, you can tuck them. If you can kind of just mess up your hair a little bit, and it layers it out. But if you're getting very blunt curls right after you take the straightener off, that's a very good thing because it's supposed to blend in. I can't say the same thing for thin hair because I don't have thin hair, but it should do the same thing. So then I would recommend leaving some places that you find if they're not curled. If they look good and they're not curled, don't curl them. Because that means they're not supposed to, that means that it looks more natural. So yeah, I just kind of like to go in and just curl any pieces that I think would look good if they were curled. Especially since I honestly hate that my hair kind of grows in flat. So it actually, this is a really fun style to do, especially if your hair, this looks very different from before I styled my hair. My hair looks very different before I style it and after I style it. And what you guys saw at the beginning of the video wasn't even really what it looks like before I styled it, because I styled it this morning. So you're gonna kind of get this layered, adorable look. It's sometimes the only problem I really have with this is my bangs get very, very flat whenever I do this, especially if I end up straightening them. So you can see it's kind of flat. One way that I like to fix that is I like to kind of just do that and then just let go. Makes it a little more volume. Or if that doesn't work enough for you, then you can do that and it gives it more volume. Tuck it. Maybe you can also tuck the fronts back. This is kind of difficult because my hair is actually kind of dirty right now. You tuck the fronts back, whatever. Whatever works for you, I guess, to give your bangs volume. There's also a couple of different tutorials on that. I would also kind of recommend doing this hairstyle when your hair is more on the damp side, just because my hair is really dry when I do this. Or when you have or when your hair is greasy, you can do it, but it's not gonna look as good or feel as good on your hands. Just keep that in mind. All right, now you're gonna see that if you have excess hair down here like I do, it's straight. I like to keep these pieces straight just because I think it looks good, but if you want to curl them, you can. I'm not gonna curl them in this video because I just like the way it looks when it's straight, but you can totally leave them. You can totally curl them, whatever, leave them, whatever. Now I'm going to be putting my hair into a ponytail. This part is completely optional. It doesn't matter. And if you're wondering why I didn't curl the back, is because I have curled my hair so much to the point where I don't even need to curl it all the time. So the back of my hair is already kind of done, and we're also gonna put it into a ponytail. But you can totally curl it in the back if you want. I would recommend if you're curling it in the back to use like a mirror, facing a mirror, so that you can see the back of your hair, because you could risk burning yourself. So please be careful when doing that, since you're doing it blindly. But since I'm putting it into a ponytail, I don't really need to do a whole lot of straightening unless I'm straightening the ponytail. So that said, I don't think I really need a tutorial on putting a ponytail in, but if you're using this style, you're gonna want to go a lot further up, because you want to have some sort of balance, and also take some of the hair off the top if you have too much on the top like me. And you're just gonna do ponytail. You know, I'm not gonna do a tutorial to do a ponytail because I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, to be honest, I didn't really even learn how to do a ponytail until I was maybe 12, so that's completely on me. So yeah, it's gonna look, it might take you a couple tries, especially if you are doing this style. It might take you a couple of tries, but once you actually get it, I'm pretty sure this is probably fine. Even if it doesn't look good, you get the idea. You're gonna get kind of a normal ponytail, And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the straightener. You don't have to do this, but this is what I like to do. And you're gonna kind of straighten out the tops a little bit, or just some random pieces, just so that it looks a little more messy, like a kind of like a messy ponytail. I like to do this just because it's a stylistic thing, and I like to straighten the bottom too, but you totally don't have to. It's completely optional. Another way you can like fix your bangs or whatever is to just like, I'm not gonna do it because my hair is already fine, is I like to do that, just like, actually I'll do it. It's easier like that, and then just kind of, that helps for me personally. It used to help a little bit more, but not so much. Not so much. Now that my hair is more volumized. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a couple different tips that I want to share first though. Another step you can do, which is completely optional, but I'm not gonna be doing this video, is you can actually blow dry your hair after this. Even if your hair isn't wet, you can blow dry it because it helps it have more volume. So if you have like thin hair, I would recommend doing that. I would always recommend blow drying up. So like this is your blow dryer, this is your blow dryer is facing you, this is the air coming out. You want to kind of blow dry up, and don't put it too close to your hair because heat damage. Always put on heat resistant spray before you're doing anything with heat. Please don't damage your hair. Please don't use a style to damage your hair, because it can damage your hair. It damaged my hair before. So please be careful, guys. Please. Always make sure to never hold the straightener on one piece for too long. Always make sure to use heat resistant spray, a ton of it, please. Please use a lot of it, please. And always wash your hair every night, because if you keep just straightening that grease into there, it's gonna fuck up your hair. So that's my advice to you, is please take care of your hair, guys. Please. Because if you don't take care of your hair, you're not gonna get this exact style, and your hair's gonna fall out. So don't do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your guys' stay here. Let me know if you guys want any sort of different hair tutorial. This style specifically isn't usually the one I do a whole lot anymore. I mean, it's similar to the one I do now. I just don't curl as much pieces up. So this is definitely in this specific style in a while. This is also why I kept my bangs straight, is because I didn't really feel like curling my bangs, just because, I don't know, it's not really what I do anymore. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have your best luck on your styling journey.